don't know what number it is. I'm going to have to look it up. I don't know if I'll go by Odysseys or if I'll start a new one here. But I'll look up the number later if I want to use Odysseys. Anyway, this is, and I was right, because I was. As I said elsewhere, the Gnostic Gospels are flying off the shelf. People are wanting to know more and more about the real Christianity before ancient Rome got a hold of it and screwed it all to hell. And people are wanting to know about that. And so they're looking at the Gnostic Gospels. They're looking at the Tripartite Tractate. They're looking at the Nag Hammadi Library. They're looking at all this stuff. Gospel of Ruth, Gospel of Mary Magdalene, Gospel of Thomas, Gospel of Judas even. So, they're looking at these, and what are they finding? Finding a very different Christianity than they were taught. A very different Christianity. A more powerful Christianity than they were taught, even. And they're being told a lot of things, being showed a lot of things that, they normally would not have known based on just what we're being taught today. Because, admittedly, a lot of information is left out. Okay, the King James Bible has 66 books. The Catholic Bible has 75 books. And the Ethiopian Bible has 83 books. Well, gee, which book do you think you should want to read? Oh, you want to read the Ethiopian book. Why? Because it has more books. And you find out more information. And you find out information that you weren't privy to before. Such as the book of Job. The Gospel of Job. The dude that was, or not Job, let's see, or not Job, but, oh gosh, which one? He was and was not because God took him. Not Elijah. Of course, Elijah was called up in a whirlwind too, but, gosh, well, I can't think of his name right now, but it wasn't Job. Job was the one that got double back what he had lost. So, but gosh, what was that? Oh man, I can't think. I just can't think of it. Anyway, so yeah, but all these books that King James ripped out of the Bible and threw in the trash, people are wanting them back, and people are finding them. Thanks to the Nag Hammadi Library, people are finding these books. They're able to read them, and they're able to oh my gosh, I didn't know this. So what do we find in these books? Well, we find out that this world that we're in right now is a construct. Remember when Elon Musk said this was a simulation? He was right. It's this whole thing that we believe to be the real Earth is not the real Earth. Not at all. It's created by a dude named the Demiurge, who is the chief archon. And so the archons are what? They're fallen angels. They're, demonic spirits, whatever you wish to call them, jinn, whatever. And so it shocked me when I grabbed a hold of one of David Icke's videos and found that he was talking about it too. Okay, so because now he's excuse me. So now he is he's literally talking to standing room only auditoriums because people are hungry to find out the truth of what's going on. And so when I said this stuff's rolling off the shelves, I wasn't kidding. People are hungry for the truth. They want to know what really happened back then. And you got to go to the Gnostics to find that out, because they're the ones that got the truth. And like I said, you got that Mercurian guy who wrote the first Bible, and then here comes Rome and says, well, we'll take your Bible and we're going to modify it, and we're going to call you a heretic and, throw you in prison or whatever, or kill you or whatever. And, so they totally manipulated the Bible. And people are like, okay, well, show me the unmanipulated version, And so thanks to the Nag Hammadi Library, we're able to do that. And I suspect that we'll find more books the longer this carries on. I do. I think before something bad happens, I think we're going to learn a lot of truth that we did not know before. And it's literally going to liberate us, both physically and mentally. One of the key takeaways in the real Christianity, as opposed to the concocted Christianity by ancient Rome, is the fact that ye are gods. And oh, well, that's heresy, that's blasphemy. No, because Jesus said it right in your own Bible. He said, know you not, ye are gods. That's a quote from Jesus. It's not Van Helton's opinion. That's a quote from Jesus. Know you not, ye are gods. And he's quoting the Old Testament, by the way. Okay? And then in another passage he says something to the effect of, my father is not your father. Your father is of the devil, and the truth is not in him. And you not only keep yourselves from entering heaven, but you keep everybody else from entering as well. Well, what was he referring to? He's referring to the demiurge, because that's the God that they are worshiping, the demiurge. And his own disciples were caught worshiping the demiurge as well, because they didn't know any better. No, it's not that they did anything wrong. They just didn't know any better, because this dude has so deceived mankind. It's just unbelievable. And he's playing both sides of the aisle. He's playing as God and the devil. And then see his archons are playing as demons and angels, both. And so you're screwed either way you go, So if you're a Satanist out there and you're hearing this for the first time, oops, you got played too. We all did. We all got played by this motherfucker. He's a piece of shit. He's an asshole. He played us all good. And so when people are hungry to find out the truth about this shit and they're getting into the Gnostic Gospels, tripartite tractate, pick that up. Pick up the Gospel of Ruth and the Gospel of Mary Magdalene and the Gospel of Thomas and the Gospel of Judas. Pick those up. And start finding out the truth, man, because people are they're literally flying off the shelves, man. People are hungry to find out what's really going on and what really happened, and they're getting an earful too, because these gospels, unlike the gospels you were given, don't play. They'll hit you hard with the truth, man. They hit you with facts and the truth. And the nice thing about some of these books, at least, not all necessarily, but some of them, is that they were actually written at the time that they purported to be in. Whereas a lot of the books in the Bible we have today were written years and years and years after the death of Christ. And why? Well, because they had to manipulate them. They had to change some of the scriptures to coincide with their agenda, which is what? Coercion, enslavement, manipulation, etc. It's all about control, man. Like I told you from the beginning, it's all about control. And this "I was right" is so sweet, because even David Icke is now talking about this, and others. And it's amazing. It's amazing to see the transformation of people when they start getting the real truth about what was really going on back then. It's an amazing thing to see, because they're liberated. They're actually set free, and that's a good thing. Now, I probably will never go back to monotheism, but I mean, if you're dead set on being a monotheist, whether it be Christian, Jew, or Muslim, you need to find out what was really going on back then. It doesn't hurt to find out what was really going on back then, and to get your mind and your heart set free, because you're in bondage right now, whether you realize it or not. You're in bondage, and you need to be set free from that shit. And the Nag Hammadi library is the best way to do that. Enoch, yes. Oh my God, the Gospel of Enoch, Book of Enoch. Yeah, check that shit out. Lots of cool shit in the Book of Enoch. And get into some of these Gnostic Gospels, man. Find out what's really going on. Cool stuff, man. Really cool stuff. And it's worth your time to dig into this stuff and find out. You can be a God. You can be now, are you going to be God big G? No, you'd be God little g, but you'll still be a deity after a fashion. The idea, though, is not necessarily to be a deity. The idea is to merge your positive and negative selves together, to fuse them together, to become one powerful source. And with that, see, then you become back to the original creator, who was called Source, who was called the One, a being of pure light, pure energy, and pure love. Because that's where Jesus really emanates from. He does not come from down here. This is all demiurge stuff. This is all archon stuff down here. It's not real. None of this shit's real. I know it looks like real and it feels like real, but but it's really not. It's a construct. And our real place is above the 7th level of heaven. That's where we belong. And by merging our positive and negative selves, and the male and the female, and you know, and you can learn how to do that through the readings. Learn how to do that. And you know, I asked him. I asked this one guy who was studying it. I said, "Now, does this mean that we're going to disappear or something, or what? What does it mean?" He says, "No, you're just going to become enlightened. You might vibrate at a higher frequency and then disappear, but before that happens, you just become enlightened. You become more knowledgeable. You know, you be in a different group than the others." But you know, as you know, more and more information as it goes along, finding this stuff out. Very cool, very interesting. You know, even if you don't want to partake in it, it's still pretty interesting. You know, all the, you know, what is it the atheists always said? Oh, it doesn't make any sense, or it's conflicting, or there's too much discrepancy. Okay, well, yeah. Guess what happens when you start reading the Gnostic Gospels? Boom, 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 boom. It all falls into place. It all starts falling into place. It all starts making sense. And isn't that refreshing? You know, finding out something that actually makes sense. You know, in this world especially. So, you know, I just thought I'd toot my own horn for a change, because this was I was right. I ended up being right. It's going crazy, and David Icke is out there telling people about it and doing seminars on it now. What about that? That's some. So anyway, that's going to do it. You have a wonderful day. Better tomorrow. Bye.